Producing clean air from folding electric vehicles to biotech trees. We have compiled for you a promising creator for a better world. 1. The hydrogen time has come. Hydrogen is the most common chemical element in the universe. It makes sense to use this element for energy production. The French writer Jules Verne expressed this vision as early as 1874 when he had Cyrus Smith, the protagonist of the Mysterious Island novel, said, "Yes, my friends, I believe water is the coal of the future." So why isn't this technology more widely available? The truth is that hydrogen is very expensive to process and the gas produced is very difficult to transport. Also, given that the production process has so far relied heavily on electricity from oil and gas, hydrogen is actually the opposite of environmentally friendly. This is where the H2FUTURE research project comes into play. The world's largest green hydrogen pilot plant was commissioned in 2019 at the Voestalpine facility in Linz, Austria. The term green means that the required electricity comes from renewable sources. Voestalpine CEO Herbert Eibensteiner says they have a long-term vision. We plan to increase the use of green hydrogen and thus reduce CO2 emissions by more than 80% by 2050. 2. Improving our brain. The most satisfying aspect of exercising in a gym is that the more regularly and the harder you work, the more clearly you can see your progress. When using the gray matter in our brain, these results are less obvious. Until now, neurofeedback training was required to document improvements in brain performance, and such sessions were quite expensive. Swedish entrepreneur Mendy aims to make the technology accessible for private use. Neurofeedback analyzes and displays brain activity in real time. The subject observes the brain wave patterns on a screen and thus trains the brain in turn. Mendy does exactly the same with an application and a plastic headband. There are actually very strong scientific underpinnings behind what looks almost suspiciously like a toy. Mendy collaborates with scientists from Stockholm University and has received a support of €50,000 from EU funds. According to the founders of the initiative, 3 10-minute sessions a week will be enough to improve concentration in the long run. 3. For a better sleep. While scientists have proven that only 1% of the world's population can achieve its full potential with less than 6 hours of sleep, there is still a type of ruler that proudly claims it does not need more than 4 hours of sleep. It's a genetic condition, says Netherlands-based neuroscientist Els van der Helm. Nobody can train their body to need less sleep. Given that this particular superstition is still prevalent, he and his colleague Joran Albers developed the Sleep app that helps users achieve better and broader sleep patterns. The sleep coaching platform works in 3 stages. First, the user's sleep patterns are evaluated based on a questionnaire. The app then offers advice on how to improve their sleep patterns based on the answers given later. In addition to tips on meditation and breathing exercises, the user can book coaching sessions with sleep experts as a third step. 4. Goodbye to parking trouble. German singer Herbert Grönemeyer complained about the lack of parking space in his song Mambo in 1984. The situation has gotten much worse since then. One study found that drivers looking for parking make up about 30% of traffic in city centers. This also applies to the Israeli city of Tel Aviv. To solve the problem, the city recently allowed public buses to operate on the Sabbath. For the crew of 3 behind City Transformer, a local initiative, this step wasn't radical enough. The result of their work was a solution that could also alleviate parking problems in other cities: a folding electric car. City Transformer's undercarriage can be extended and retracted at the press of a button. When it's time to find parking, the wheels and chassis retract while the cabin remains unchanged. In this configuration, the vehicle is only 1 meter wide and fits easily in a motorcycle area. According to the manufacturer, the City Transformer can reach a top speed of 90 km per hour and travel 150 km with a fully charged battery. The pre-order phase is currently underway and the first models are scheduled to be delivered towards the end of 2020. 5. Breaking the waves. About 15 years ago, Aaron Trevis, a mining engineer and amateur surfer, found himself throwing stones at the lake with his children. It was a moment that would change Travis's life forever. I started wondering how big a stone would have to be to create a wave that I could surf, says Travis. Today, the Surf Lakes business operates one of the world's largest wave pools, 80,000 cubic meters of water, in its hometown of Yeppoon on Australia's east coast. The system uses a steel ring in the middle of the lake. The ring weighs 1,400 tons, which is roughly the equivalent of 3 commercial jets. The ring, rising with air pressure, emits concentric waves of 2.4 meters in precisely timed rhythm. What makes Travis's system special is that the artificial reefs placed at the bottom of the lake allow waves to form, creating different speeds, inclinations and heights at various points. Surf Lake is divided into 5 levels of difficulty, meaning it can be used by both beginners and professionals. This also explains the name of the unique technology, 5 waves. The downside of the facility, which can benefit 200 surfers at a time, is that the prototype on Yeppoon is not yet open to the public. 6. It's good to talk. 6 months ago, the idea of not seeing friends and family for weeks seemed unreasonable. But during our stay at home, many of us suddenly began to realize how important interpersonal communication is for our well-being. This is why Anya Kroll and Fabian Hens launched Ahoyly, a free online platform to connect with like-minded people, in April 2020. The registration procedure takes no more than 2 minutes. All you have to do is specify your interests based on an algorithm suggested by the interlocutors, and your preferred communication channel, Skype, Zoom, etc. Send a conversation request to the person you are interested in and start chatting. Looking at the distribution of users, men and women are more or less in balance. The average age is between 20 and 55. The most talked about topic so far is travel. 7. City trees. Earlier this year, 3 wooden giants began wandering the streets of Berlin, Germany. The 4-meter-high towers, called city trees, basically serve the same purpose as the inspiration sources in forests. They filter the air, but with extra power. City Tree filters breathable air for 7,000 people every hour. Each of the mobile filtration units reduces air pollution by up to 82% within a radius of 5 meters. In addition, the towers contain monitoring sensors that collect environmental data. Equipped with solar cells and rainwater harvesting systems to provide it with energy and water, the Green Giant is the result of 7 years of hard work from the Berlin-based Green City Solutions team. Following pilot projects in cities such as London, Paris and Hong Kong, City Trees will soon take its place full-time at 2 schoolyards in Berlin. 8. Generating electricity while walking. If Indian students can realize projects Lajan Bhaskar Lal and Nandika Venkataswaran, the ecological footprint will soon gain a new and additional meaning. Their idea is to generate electricity using the steps of other students. This great concept earned the duo first place at Red Bull Basement University in India last year. The idea was so well received that Bhaskar Lal was invited by Google to continue working on the Energy Brid project at a training camp in Bangalore. The basic principle seems pretty simple actually. 2 students were looking for an answer to the question of how to utilize energy generated by walking. Their plan was to use special tiles, 45 cm by 35 cm in size, that convert and store the energy released from each step into electricity. On heavily used walkways, each tile has 75,000 steps in just 30 minutes, and the energy generated in this way can brighten a room for up to 20 minutes. 9. The magic mirror. Do we still need gyms in the age of exercise practice? Those who enjoy training on sports equipment and those who perceive sports as a social experience will claim that this need continues. Valerie Bers-Bonstrom, 41, the founder of the gym chain named Mrs. Sporty, found a new way to communicate with others while exercising at home. Smart Mirror Vaha allows you to have remote group sessions in your own living room. You can even beam a personal trainer right next to your exercise mat. It makes all the participants feel like they are in the same room and you are motivated at that level, says Bers-Bonstrom. Vaha, which is a high-tech camera that can detect and analyze movements with precision, is available for a price of €2,268. The first step is to determine the user's body values. Accordingly, based on personal data and various test applications, the device creates an exercise regimen tailored to individual needs. 10. This aircraft saves lives. Sometimes you have a life-changing moment. In Tom Plummer's example, such an event occurred during a year's volunteer work in Ghana. The neighboring family passed away just days after the baby was born. A faster medical aid could save the child's life, says Plummer. A few years later, Plummer met engineer Jonathan Hesselworth, who was working on a new type of drone. The most innovative feature of the unmanned aerial vehicle is that it can rise like a traditional model but then switch to airplane mode. This allows the drone to travel faster, quieter, and most importantly, more stable. Plummer thought that medical transport practice could be improved with this drone type and fired the fuse to get Hesselworth excited about the idea. In 2017, they started working with Ansgar Kadura to embark on the Wingcopter project. A lot has happened since then. Today, the Wingcopter, with a speed of 240 km per hour, is the fastest drone in the world and currently successfully delivers vaccines in the South Pacific island state of Vanuatu and in Malawi in Africa. The distances a courier travels by walking or by boat in a day are covered in minutes with a drone, Plummer says. 11. All the markets of the world be automated. The initiatives of 30-year-old Philip Honing and co-founder Max Itterman, called SMARC, are on the verge of revolutionizing the world of grocery shopping. Proprietary software enables all supermarkets to work effectively like large vending machines. The customer places his order via a smartphone or touch screen and takes the incoming product from the counter via an automatic gripper arm. This system allows customers to shop outside of normal working hours, says Honing. In addition, the algorithm also facilitates smart management, for example by independently lowering the price of yogurt that is about to expire. Retail giants are already testing the technology. More important is the fact that these automated supermarkets are more cost-effective to run than their traditional counterparts. This system can reverse the tendency of many traditional supermarkets to withdraw from rural areas due to inadequacy and low profitability, by providing an excellent opportunity to secure supply structures in smaller rural stores. 12. Play sports like an astronaut. The lack of gravity causes long-term physical problems. A study conducted by the Harvard Medical School found that after staying in space for a maximum of 3 weeks, astronauts' muscles shrank by a third. Their bones are also getting weaker due to the lack of stress. NASA asked U.S. fitness guru Paul Francis to develop a training equipment to keep astronauts in shape on the International Space Station (ISS). The technology, now known as SpiraFlex, consists of spiral springs concentrically joined. SpiraFlex devices were first transported to the ISS space station in 2000 and used for 10 years, keeping more than 50 astronauts in shape. Francis realized the potential of his invention on Earth in 2012 and founded Oyo. In May, Nova Gym, the company's latest Kickstarter campaign, raised $3 million on its crowdfunding platform, the highest amount a fitness product has ever achieved. The belt-shaped device weighs no more than 1.1 kilograms and can be easily placed in an ordinary backpack. The most important feature of the device is its versatility. According to the manufacturer, this product replaces 9 classic sports stations, from weight gear to rowing machines. The only downside, the excuse of not having enough time to go to the gym, doesn't work anymore.